Breaking news and the release of the Federal Reserve's latest snapshot of the U.S. economy, the Beige Book. Bloomberg Chief Washington correspondent Peter Cook joins us now with the details. Peter, good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon, Mark. This Beige Book reviewing economic activity during the holiday season from mid-November to late December across the country paints a picture of a U.S. economy still broadly expanding, but certainly not in overdrive. The retail sales numbers in here, at least the anecdotal information, will be interesting given what we saw earlier today. Now, the anecdotal evidence from business contacts across the Fed's 12 districts suggests overall, quote, national economic activity continued to expand during the reporting period of mid-November through late December, with most districts reporting a modest or moderate pace of growth. Kansas City reported only slight growth. Dallas reported growth slowed slightly. Several contacts there expressing concern about the effect lower oil prices could have on the district going forward. Quote, consumer spending increased in most districts with generally modest year-over-year gains in retail sales. That's not exactly consistent with what we saw this morning with the retail sales numbers, the actual numbers. Slight to modest gains reported in Boston, Dallas, Philly, and Cleveland. Solid sales in Atlanta. New York reported sales below expectations. Kansas City said sales came in below a year earlier. Auto sales showed moderate to strong growth. Travel and tourism picked up in many places. Broadway, a bright spot for New York, up 10% in terms of ticket sales. Manufacturing activity expanded in most districts, according to the Beige Book, but we note here single-family residential real estate sales and construction were largely flat on balance across the districts, while commercial real estate activity expanded. Demand for non-financial services varied widely, but on balance, growth was moderate. Demand for business and consumer credit expanded, and credit quality improved a bit further overall. As for labor market conditions, wages and inflation, all important factors right now to the Federal Reserve. Quote, payrolls in a variety of sectors expanded moderately during the reporting period. Significant wage pressures were largely limited to workers with specialized technical skills. Prices increased slightly on balance in most districts. And again, that's consistent with what we're seeing in the data across the board. Mark, jobs increasing, no real wage or inflation pressure reflected in the Beige Book. And again, that's what Janet Yellen and her colleagues have been looking at the last couple of weeks at the Fed as well.
Peter, anything in the Beige Book that might move the Fed's liftoff date?
Nothing that I can see in here that's really going to surprise them or alter their outlook right now as they continue to watch what's happening with the data, what's happening with inflation expectations, what's happening with jobs, and, of course, what's happening with wages. Certainly the numbers we got this morning on retail sales were a disappointment. Does the Beige Book and what they see here, the anecdotal evidence, suggest something else is happening out there? We'll have to wait and see, but my guess is they're kind of going to put more stock in the actual numbers that we got this morning, although it's only 1 month, Mark. We'll have to see what the next reports might bring.
Bloomberg Chief Washington correspondent Peter Cook. Peter, thank you.